Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Later today, the House of Commons Ethics Committee will decide whether or not to investigate Justin Trudeau's role in the SNC-Lavalin corruption scandal. Le rapport présenté la semaine dernière par le commissaire à l'éthique a révélé de nouveaux détails troublants sur les tentatives de Justin Trudeau d'éviter SNC-Lavalin de faire face à des accusations de corruption. As the report confirms, Trudeau and SNC were in on this from almost the moment Trudeau took office. And he himself was at the center of a politically motivated campaign of misinformation, deceit, and manipulation. Multiple veiled threats to Ms. Wilson-Raybould and her staff from senior PMO officials. Repeated references to drop the prosecution in order to help the Liberal Party win more seats. And ongoing discussions with SNC, despite explicit advice from the Privy Council to avoid it, about how to get the company what it wanted. And secret meetings with SNC officials to discuss new ways to pressure Ms. Wilson-Raybould, all without her knowledge. Now, all of this led the Ethics Commissioner to conclude that Trudeau used his power to, quote, circumvent, undermine, and attempt to discredit both the public prosecutor and the Attorney General. C'est une ressemblance frappante avec la définition d'entrave à la justice du Code criminel. Une tentative volontaire, et je cite, d'entraver, de détourner ou de contrecarrer le cours de la justice dans une procédure judiciaire. Fin de citation. Nous savons qu'il a enfreint la loi. We know he broke the law. So it's time for the Liberals on the Ethics Committee to now take a stand, to do what is right and what Canadians expect of you. We know he broke the law, but there are still so many unanswered questions. We know that the Ethics Commissioner was not able to fully investigate this affair. Let me read to you two very important quotes from his report. Quote, because of my inability to access all cabinet confidences related to the matter, I must, however, report that I was unable to fully discharge the investigatory duties conferred upon me by this act. And again, during the examination, 9 witnesses informed our office that they had information they believed to be relevant, but they could not be disclosed. So clearly, this committee today must be allowed to proceed. The Ethics Committee's decision today will come down to 6 Liberal MPs. Frank Baylis, Mona Fortier, Michelle Picard, Raj Sani, Anita Vandenbeld, and Nathaniel Erskine Smith. These MPs have the power to decide if an investigation will proceed, and they will have to answer to their constituents in just a few short weeks about how they vote today. Ils peuvent laisser le Parlement faire son travail et demander des comptes à Justin Trudeau pour cette infraction à l'éthique sans précédent et possiblement criminel. Or they can shut the committee down, rob Canadians of the accountability they deserve, and stand behind a leader who has broken the law and lied to Canadians when he got caught. Choice is up to them. In 2015, Justin Trudeau promised he would be ethical and accountable when he was running for the office he now holds. He even said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. How things have changed. Over the past 4 years, he has proven that he is simply not as advertised. Time and time again, he has abused the power of his office to reward his supporters and punish his critics. Depuis 4 ans, il prouve qu'il n'est pas celui qu'il prétendait être. Encore et encore, il abuse du pouvoir de ses fonctions pour récompenser ses partisans et punir ses critiques. So it's time for the Liberals on the Ethics Committee to make a stand. Do what is right and what Canadians expect you to do. Faites ce qui est juste. Faites ce que les Canadiens attendent de vous. We will learn today whether or not the scandal and corruption is limited to just the Liberal Party's leader in the form of Justin Trudeau, or whether or not this rot has infected the entire Liberal caucus and the entire Liberal Party. Merci. Thank you very much. Happy to take your questions.
Mr. Chair, if you become Prime Minister, knowing what you know now, and given the SNC-Lavalin controversy, would you have given SNC a deferred prosecution agreement in English and in French, too, please?
So the key factor here is that the decision to grant a deferred prosecution agreement rests with the independent director of public prosecutions. And my position is, and will always be, that that decision must be free from political interference. I would never interfere in a criminal court case or overturn the decision of an independent officer of court. Alors, la décision de donner une entente comme ça reste avec le directeur des prosécutions publiques. Et ça doit être une décision indépendante d'influence politique. Alors, mon position aujourd'hui et dans le futur sera que je ne jamais ingérer dans une décision, jamais renverser une décision indépendante d'un officiel de nos cours.
Again, in English and in French, please. Do you think the Canadian military has a problem with extreme right and racism in its ranks?
I think it's important that all institutions in the Canadian society, indeed the Canadian government, must always be free from people who are using their positions to promote extremist views. And of course, we will do everything we can to ensure that people who wear Canada's uniform and represent Canada in any number of ways, including in our military, must always uphold the very values and freedoms that our country stands for. That must be free from any type of hateful ideology. Oui. Alors, c'est important de toutes nos institutions publiques et gouvernementales et dans notre société doit être libre de les gens qui appuient les positions intolérantes et difficiles et basées sur la haine. Et sous un gouvernement conservateur, on va assurer que nos institutions, spécialement nos forces armées, doivent représenter les mêmes valeurs qu'elles défendent autour de moi et libres de les gens qui promotent les haines.
Mr. Chair, have you or anybody in your office reached out to the members of the committee who are in the Liberal Party to make this entreaty to them personally?
Well, I met Nathaniel Erskine Smith yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. I saw him coming into the event that I actually had just concluded. So he came over and he said hello to me, and I asked him to do the right thing. I asked him to put Canada before his party, and I hope he does that. I hope all members do that, because we have an opportunity here for them to display that the truth is more important than their partisan interests. So I hope he does. I'm making this announcement today, this appeal to those Liberal members, to do what other members of other committees, and indeed this very same committee, failed to do before, and that is allow this investigation to proceed. We have to remember that Justin Trudeau has already used his majority to shut down several other investigations. And we know, based on the Ethics Commissioner's report and from his own words, there's more to this story. We need that truth to come out. What message does it send to Canadians if Justin Trudeau is allowed to get away with what he has done and keep the truth hidden? The other question is, what else could he possibly be hiding? If he's willing to go to these great lengths to keep the rest of the story to come out, based on what we know, the already disturbing information that already has come to light, there must be something even just as serious that he is desperate to keep hidden.
How did he react, Smith, when you approached him?
He just said, "We'll see."
That's,
as I recall, it was a brief interaction. I'll let him speak to it. It's exactly what he said, but it was words of that nature. We'll see how it goes.
If the Liberals turn down the request to bring Dion to committee, what's your next move?
Well, we're weeks away from an election starting and Parliament being dissolved, so we'll be taking our case to the Canadian people and urging them to hold Justin Trudeau to account. We cannot have a lawmaker who is a lawbreaker. We cannot have someone who will stare down the barrel of a camera and tell things that he knows to be false, to spread falsehoods. We can't have someone who believes that he's above the law or believes that there's one set of rules for hardworking Canadians and another set of rules for people who are powerful and have special access to the Prime Minister's office. We see who gets ahead in Justin Trudeau's Canada. It's millionaire owners of multi-billion-dollar corporations like Loblaws. It's corporate executives at SNC. It's people who have trust funds but who aren't small business owners, who are called tax cheats. So we see who gets ahead under Justin Trudeau's Canada. Conservatives will be standing up to help everyone else in this country get ahead. The people who are working hard, trying to make a living, put some money away for their kids, for themselves, or for their aging parents. That's who Conservatives will work to help get ahead. We see who gets ahead in Justin Trudeau's Canada.
Last question.
Will your platform be fully costed by the PBO?
We will be releasing a platform that will be costed, and we have been using information and analysis from the Parliamentary Budget Officer. Oui, on va avoir une plateforme avec tous les coûts calculés et on a utilisé le PBO pour quelques analyses. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for your time.